So stick around for that. Let's get right into it with Ahsoka episode 4. You guys know I've been big fan of Star Wars for a long time, but I have been disappointed in recent iterations. I stopped watching the Book of Boba Fett. I haven't even bothered with Mandalorian Season 3 yet. Let me know if I should watch it or if I should just skim through it and get the gist of it. I skipped through Obi-Wan and I got the gist of it. I don't feel like I need to go back and rewatch it. I've already seen all the cool parts and that's fine. I don't need to see it again. It didn't really grab me that way. But finally, in this episode, people start making smart decisions. We talked about, well, except for Sabine, but we'll talk about that. But we talked about last week how episodes 1 through 3, we had some really stupid people in this show. I mean, they're carrying a high value prisoner, and a random ship shows up that's kind of sus, and they just let them on board. And then they take the prisoner and get away. Really dumb. The General, Hara, she just doesn't do her job. She's like, oh, I put a tracking beacon on an emperor, on an imperial, escape ship, taking a hyperdrive to who knows where, but I know where it's going. Maybe I should follow it. But she has to ask the Senate, and of course the Senate people are all stupid. They say no. But in this episode, she disobeys their orders and does the smart thing and just takes a couple ships and goes and has a look to see what's there. That's not going to matter. Spoilers, obviously. But it doesn't matter. And so episode 4 has a lot more really interesting stuff in it. We have droid on droid battles, which I thought was really good. The Sith, Shin, she takes to the forest to figure out, what it is that she's going to be looking for. She goes and tries to find Ahsoka and Sabine. And we get some good droid action. And their lightsaber fight is actually pretty cool. Her and Sabine have a nice altercation, and their lightsaber fight is really interesting. Ahsoka takes on this random guy. I don't even know his name, but he has like a knight's helmet, whatever. And then she kills him in a pretty cool way, but honestly, in the beginning, it felt kind of cheap, if that was all we were going to get, but I liked where it went, so I was okay with it. But he disappeared and turned into smoke, and I don't know my Star Wars lore that well, so you guys are going to have to help me out in the comments down below. What is that about? Is that a reference to something? Does that mean something for later? Help me out with that, because I don't know. But it really gets good when we get to Baylan. Baylan versus Ahsoka. And you listen to this guy talk, and you start to realize, okay, not only is this dude a brilliant actor, being very stoic and calm, this is a great character. In fact, I think it's the best character in the show. The show which was very female heavy in the beginning, I don't have a problem with that because there's nothing wrong with a male heavy show, which we've had for decades. So therefore, there's nothing wrong with a female heavy show. That's what's called equality, right? And so I got no problem with the show being mostly women. I have a problem with those characters not being written very well, being kind of boring and not really grabbing me and not making me care about them very well and doing very stupid things. If you're going to make a show that's, centered around a bunch of female characters, don't make them all dumb and stupid. That's not a good look. Because Disney, Star Wars is owned by Disney, and they're doing this whole empowerment, diversity thing, and that's fine. I don't care. It all depends on how you do it. You can do it in a way that pisses people off, or you can do it in a way that, is fine and helps everybody. But, in these days, no matter what you do, somebody's going to be pissed off. But when they write a show about women, or it's all centered around female characters, they can't even make the female characters interesting and grab an audience for those characters. It's a little weird, a little questionable, but I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But anyways, this guy's the best character in the show so far. He's the best actor. His character has the most gravitas, the most weight to him, and I really, really feel for what he's going through and what he wants. And so he confronts Ahsoka, and he really thinks that he's the good guy. And he looks at Ahsoka and he says, you know nothing but death and destruction, or something like that. And I thought, wow, this guy is really, really powerful. And their sword fight was really, really good. You felt the strokes. They were heavy. They were hard hitting. They felt like they hurt. You know, the sword fighting in the show has been kind of lackluster up until now. But now I'm starting to think that this might be close to one of the best sword fights we've gotten. You know, I don't think anything will quite top what we got in Revenge of the Sith, unless they really, really try. But it seems so far the Disney era of Star Wars isn't trying to do the really quick and fast lightsaber battles that George Lucas did in the prequels. And that's okay, you know, different artistic flair, different design, different tone. That's fine. But for the tone of lightsaber fights and the style that they've set up in Disney so far, this might be one of the best, I think, because it was so visceral. And Ahsoka makes the smart decision. She's trying to destroy the map, and he keeps blocking her, and he defeats Ahsoka. And I love that Ahsoka is straight up B, because it's not often that you get a show where the main character is straight up defeated. Most writers are too scared to do that, and so props to Dave Filoni for being willing to have Ahsoka be straight up beat by this guy. There's no question about it. He beat her, and now I am actually looking forward to their next confrontation, and I want to see where this goes next. And so I'm happy that they did that in this show. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The big thing that people are getting angry about or are really happy about is Sabine. She betrays Ahsoka, takes the map, and hands it over to Ahsoka. But first, she tried to get Baylan to not throw Ahsoka over the edge, and she does the smart thing. She points the gun at the map and say, do this, and I'll destroy your map, and you're not going anywhere. Whole mission failed. That would have been the smart thing to do. And approaching the scene, you're thinking, oh, just shoot it. Just shoot the map. But then her master would die automatically, and then after her master, Ahsoka falls off the cliff. You know, if she shoots it, she's dead anyways. And a lot of people are saying she would never do that. Now, I haven't seen the Rebels show, so I don't know this character as well as you guys. I will watch Rebels later. But why not? Why wouldn't she do it? She has no family. Her master, as far as she knows, just died. And the only family she has left on the other end, or on the other end of the galaxy. You know, I actually like that they did this because it's a real character moment. Because real characters and real people don't always do the logical thing. They don't always make the hard choices. They make the flawed choice. They make the emotional choice. And so while, yeah, it was kind of dumb and selfish to hand the map over, I really like it as a narrative point because it gives her more weight. Thinking that, oh, she really wants to see Ezra. Now I'm understanding her motivations and I'm actually caring about her as a character even more. And in general, it was just a really nice, dark moment for Star Wars. A character surrendering their morals to their emotional core in what they wanted. One step towards the darkness. She compromised with a Sith or whatever it is he is. She compromised. It's a really nice, dark moment in Star Wars, and I don't think we've had anything like it in quite some time. I don't think we've had anything like this. I mean, I haven't seen everything, but since Anakin Skywalker fell. You guys can let me know what your favorite dark moments in Star Wars, but I thought this was a really good one. And so, but of course, the big surprise at the end of Ahsoka, episode 4, is Ahsoka wakes up in the world between worlds, which I didn't know about until this episode. And then I went and looked it up and like, oh, it's a Rebels thing. Okay, cool. And she meets Anakin. Good old CGI Anakin. You know, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I didn't register that it was bad CGI. I just thought he was old and maybe had a bit of a plastic surgery done. But it is bad CGI. But I think it's really cool that she gets to talk to Anakin, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the show goes from here. So those are my thoughts on Ahsoka Episode 4. Look forward to seeing your thoughts. Make sure you like it and subscribe so that we can talk about the rest of the show together. And I already reviewed episodes 1 through 3. You can check out that video right here if you missed the last stream. with that down, let's move on